After 46 years, tonight is my co-anchor John Pruitt's last night right here on the anchor desk. Now, we've had an amazing partnership, and we hope you'll enjoy a little trip down memory lane.
And this is Action News with John Pruitt and Monica Kaufman.
We've both come a long way from that anchor desk to this one.
Good evening. I'm Monica Pearson.
And I'm John Pruitt. We've had a lot of changes in technology and fashion.
And today, Senator Bud Stumbaugh of DeKalb County introduced two bills.
John had longer hair with the sideburns down to here.
For the nation's governors.
He used to wear some pretty ugly plaid jackets.
But despite all those transformations, Monica and I have always had a special synergy.
As a team, they're a natural.
When I look at that promo, I think it really describes the way we are now.
Together.
You know, I'd catch it, he'd catch it. We protect each other very well.
Good evening. I'm John Pruitt.
And I'm Monica Kaufman.
When Monica first came aboard WSB TV in 1975, some viewers were unhappy with change. But she was the right person at the right time for Atlanta and WSB.
It had always been for white males. And John Pruitt was the buffer between those in the community who thought it was inappropriate for a woman to be on the air, and even worse, for a black woman to be on the air. So he was my protector. My biggest problem was trying to be like John, because I admired how he anchored and his authoritative manner and the voice and all. And so I tended at that time to be more like him, which was bad for me in many ways.
But while I was away a few years at a competing station, Monica came into her own. When I returned in 1994, we picked right up, better than ever.
Good evening, I'm Monica Kaufman.
We've covered all the big breaking news stories together and even traveled to places like Oslo, Norway for primetime specials. And in between, on the set...
The truth be known, I love to tell a good joke. I love to pun with Monica. We do a lot of punning jokes back and forth, sometimes during the commercial breaks. We have a good time.
I've only cried twice at this station, and the first was when he left to go to work for one of the competitors. And the only other time is when I heard that he really was going to retire, because it's like losing a piece of me.
I think I will miss walking into the newsroom every day and seeing this energetic, youthful, inquisitive, driven, talented group of people doing their respective jobs, working hard to put together that newscast. Just the feeling of being there with that creative energy is something I'm going to miss.
But don't worry, John will put all of that creative energy into his family. He's pops to his 5 grandchildren. He'll travel with his wife, Andrea, go fly fishing with his buddies, and work even more with the charities he's always been involved with in the community. He may write a book, and he'll definitely be back here to host primetime specials such as Georgia's Hidden Treasures. After 46 and a half years as a journalist, John is a broadcast icon in Atlanta.
I really appreciate the fact that through hell and high water, he has always been a positive voice that saw the hope and the vision of Atlanta as a great city, where in spite of any problem, people were going to make it, and they were going to make it good.
When he is giving the news, when he's anchoring a story, you can trust him, you can believe in him. He was so real. He never came across as a showman.
Good evening.
He has earned a level of trust and respect, maintained a level of integrity and fairness, and demonstrated a type of kindness and compassion that is rare in television, rare in life.
I can't imagine a better career, and I'm just grateful. I'm grateful for the circumstances that led me to it, for the providence that enabled me to stay with it, and it's just all good, all good.
How we have matured.
I thought we hadn't changed a bit. And
Thank
you were
you.
talking about my hair?
Yes.
That's a switch.
Oh, that was wonderful. And you know, one thing I'm thankful for is working with you. It's been 19 years that we've been a team. And it has been a rare privilege. And I'm going to miss sitting down here next to you on a daily basis.
I'm going to miss you on a daily basis, too.
It's been fun.
Well, we're not really finished saying goodbye just yet to John. We have much more straight ahead.
I'm just curious, because we have a lot of interns and people in school right now who want to get into this business. What advice would you give?
I'll tell you what I tell students today. I'm sure you probably tell them the same thing. Start building a foundation of current events knowledge, reading a newspaper, checking the internet now in these days, and watching a television newscast to educate yourself as much as possible about what news is all about. Develop that habit of wanting to know. That's the first step. Read, learn to write, to express yourself both in the written word and the spoken word, and set your sights high and don't give up, because it's tough to get a job in this business these days.
But you also have a natural love of history, and I think that's one of the reasons you've been so good in this profession, because you know history.
Well, and this job is like covering history on a daily basis. And what greater pleasure than doing that in the town in which you grew up. So it's been great. And I guess in a curious kind of way, we're part of that, because we've been through so much of it as a team.
Your biggest story.
Yes.
Your biggest story.
You know, I have to go back to the civil rights. No single story, just the first episodes I covered in the civil rights movement have stayed with me for my entire career, because that was covering history as it was being made, and we were aware that this revolution was underway, a societal revolution that changed all of us in our society, made the South such a much better, stronger place, and made our nation a better place.
You know, you've heard from all of these politicians and people in our community, and I think the one bottom line word is when they tune into you is trust.
I agree. Well, you know, all of us here at Channel 2 are going to miss you very much, John, and we want you to know that you mean so much to us, and we are going to let you have the final word tonight.
Well, I do have a word for you, the viewers. It is hard for me to believe that after 46 years, tens of thousands of newscasts, that this is my final newscast. I started fresh out of college, got the lowest of low-level jobs in the WSB TV newsroom, and little at the time did I realize I had found a career that I would love so much it really never seemed like a job. I have loved covering the history of this town that I grew up in, newscast by newscast, the triumphs, the tragedies, the movers and shakers, the ordinary folks who do extraordinary things. I have loved working with the finest team in television, all of those who work together in so many different ways in front of the camera and behind the camera to make our newscast happen day after day. And I have loved that special bond with you, the viewers, those of you who've invited us into your homes over the years, a bond built by mutual trust and respect. I've heard from so many of you over the past week. It has been truly overwhelming. The phone calls, the emails, all of you sending me good wishes, sharing memories you have. You've sent them my way. I appreciate it so much. I want to thank you for being such a special part of my life. I know you will join me in now watching Monica, Justin, Jovita, Glenn, David, Zach, and so many others who provide coverage you can count on. I'll be back from time to time, so it's not goodbye. It's just so long until next time. Good luck and Godspeed.
Well, because you've been so valuable to our staff and to me, tonight the staff wanted to say goodbye in a special way.
Mary Ennons watched Atlantans vote in a mayor's race yesterday. Hundreds came to hear Burt Lance testify. And in Georgia, education is hurting.
Good evening. Those April showers came a few days early this year. Billy Carter reportedly is quitting the family peanut business. First Saturday Extra, a new program from Action News. I have to tell you that the most moving thing happened as we were leaving Ground Zero today. Volunteers are coming in from all over Georgia, in fact, all over North America, to lend a hand to the people here. I'm stunned and so grateful to all of you. Your support has always been the coverage I can count on.
John, thank you for your unwavering dedication, your service to this community, but most of all, thank you for setting the standard of excellence for others to follow.
John Pruitt, the consummate professional. I'm so glad that your tenure was as long as it was in Atlanta. I'm so glad you were at WSB. Trusted voice, steady hand, great journalist, better human being.